What would you say if I told you that you could create 10 digital products that will give you passive income, but that also have little overhead costs? I would think it's too good to be true. A lot of these digital products, you don't even really need a website. I'm not saying that a website is outdated. Of course it's not. A website will never be outdated because that is how you differentiate yourself from everyone else on the website, online. But the thing here is, if you want an easy way to get started and you don't have enough money, you could create a simple landing page. And that landing page could lead to your WhatsApp number, where you form a line of communication with people who are interested in your products. This is what a lot of people are doing across the globe. Yes, you might not have money for a website, but you could have a simple landing page. You might not have money for a suite of email marketing tools. Well, there's WhatsApp for you. But before I get ahead of myself, let's talk about these digital products. The first one, and this is super, super easy, is an ebook. An ebook is simple to create because you only really need Canva in a few days. You could use ChatGPT to come up with maybe topics you could talk about. But here's the thing, pick one niche and then look at that niche and pick a subset of that niche. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to talk about relationships or write a book on relationships. While relationships is a broad topic, relationships can be relationships at work, relationships at home, family relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, and the list goes on and on. So you could literally say, I'm going to create a book on friendships, or I'm going to create a book on maintaining and balancing work relationships, or I'm going to write a book about how to get married, or how to find your one, or how to date the right way. So once you do that and you've picked a topic, ask ChatGPT to give you a catching headline. And then after you do that, you go to Canva and you create your ebook. And then once you've created your ebook, now you're thinking, okay, where do I host it? Like, where do I get people to buy this ebook? Especially if you don't want to go to the whole thing of creating a website. Well, there are numerous platforms you could use. You could use Beacon's AI. In fact, you could also use Beacon's AI to create the ebook for you. Or you could use Pinside. Or you could use Linktree. Or you could also use something called PayHip. There are numerous options, and all of the ones I mentioned, right? You don't need to pay for anything. Price the ebook around $5 to $11. Make sure that it's got a pretty cover. Use Canva to do that, and you're good to go. Number two is all about online courses. And the great thing about online courses compared to ebooks is you can scale them up. You see, with an ebook, it's just an ebook. You write 50 to 100 pages off the ebook, and then that's done. But with online courses, you could create a course as 47, then create a more robust course at maybe $200. So it's a lot easier to scale up with courses than it is to do with ebooks. Now you're thinking, okay, now how do I create a course? Now you go through the same thing. You could go to something called Coursebox AI to help you come up with topics to talk about for your course, or use ChatGPT, or use Claude AI. There are numerous ways you could come up with topics for your course. Once you're done with that, you're going to need to make sure that you film your course, right? Here's the thing, right? You got to decide whether you want to do talking head or you want to do maybe a screen share. Talking head is me and you talking like this, whereas a screen share is basically you sharing your screen. And all you really need for that is a recording device. And there's so many free recording devices online. Now, if you want somewhere to host your course, especially if you're going for the free route, well, you could use Streamable. So there are always all these avenues. And now if you're looking for where to actually host your course, now this is where you could use PayHip, okay? PayHip or Beacons. But Beacons, I think for courses that are robust, is probably around $10 a month. So there are different ways to look at it, okay? Now let's go to number three. Number three is all about printables or templates, or what they call PLR. PLR is basically private label rights. This is when you create something and you sell it to make it easy for someone. So these can be templates, these could be checklists, these could be even lead magnets for people who are interested in what you're buying or selling. So let's say, for example, someone doesn't want to go through the heartache or the pressure of creating an ebook. They want something that is been filled out for them. or they want something that's been designed for them, you could create something and then sell it to them for about $5 to $9. The good thing about this is you can constantly sell it, no matter how many times you sell it, whether it's 100, 1,000 times, you can sell the same product over and over again. Printables are pretty much something that people can print. Checklists, email lists, calendars, templates are things like website templates, or ebook templates. Let me explain though what's the difference between private label rights and just creating a template. Just creating a template basically means that often you can restrict the person from how they use it. So let's say the template is just for personal use or for commercial use. Now, if it's for commercial use, it can be more expensive. Private label rights is pretty much you selling it for someone to use in order for them to grow their business or for them to start a business, depending on where they're at. Number 4 is stock photos. I know a lot of people nowadays think that AI is taking over stock photos, but there's nothing like an actual photo that has been created by an actual human being. So yes, there are people who love AI photos or AI graphics, but there are people who like things that aren't created by literally an artificial intelligence. They want things that are more human, that have more emotion, that are more realistic. So that's where you come in by basically just selling your photos or your graphics to them. Number 5, membership sites is basically when you've got one site and there's got different courses, different things on it. So someone pays $10 a month to access whatever is on that membership site, whether they want to access the templates or whether they want to access the courses. Membership site is robust in that way because everything is housed under one roof. It's different from someone selling something individually. They're selling it as a bundle or all together. There are few places you could use with this one. System.io is great for membership sites, especially when you're starting out and you don't want to pay a lot of money going for the ones that cost a lot of money, because creating a membership site can cost a bit of money. And the good thing with System.io is you won't need a blog or a website for it. Everything is housed under the same thing. So you can basically have a blog, you can basically have your membership site, you can basically have your courses and anything that you want to sell in that membership site. Number 6, digital or illustrations. Now, this one's self-explanatory, and this also includes things like book cover design. And you can sell this on places like Fiverr or Upwork. Now, let's go to number 7. Number 7 is software or apps. If you are a newbie and you have no idea about coding or the difference between Python or JavaScript or HTML, right? And you want to create a software program or an app without you stressing about it, well, I've got good news for you. There's so many sites nowadays that can help you create an AI app for you, or can create an app for you in general. And a lot of these can be free. You just have to check which ones are and which ones you can afford. And some of them have trials, so you can check it out and see how it works. These are a few of the ones I would suggest. Bubble, AppGyver, Thunkable, Glide, Kodula. I don't know who comes up with these names, but anyway, let's go to the next one. Next one is audiobooks or podcasts. Create a podcast for someone or an audiobook for someone and then just sell it. Now, the best ways to do this is going on Fiverr or Upwork, or you could create a website and market it yourself. There's so many authors and there's so many people who want podcasts done for them or podcasts edited for them. So you could come in and offer that as a service, or you could come in and sell it, right? But also, here's another thing though. You could basically just create the audio book for whatever book you're selling and then post it online. Or you could create a podcast, right? And have brand sponsorships or be marketing your products or your services. So it all comes down to how you look at audiobooks or podcasts, but they are an easy way to create a digital product that requires little to no capital and is also a way for you to make passive income. The one thing I would not suggest with audiobooks or podcasts is that they can be time consuming. So if you're ready to jump onto that bandwagon of creating something that's going to take you hours to do, then I would definitely suggest it, especially if you enjoy it. All right, rounding up the list, we've got website templates. Now, I explained this before about templates, and there's so many sites you could sell your template on. Now, here's another thing that I haven't seen a lot of people doing. You could create Canva templates, Canva website templates. So all you need to do is go into Canva, type in Canva website templates, right? And you get the templates and you just modify it. And then once you modify it, you can then sell it as your own. Don't take something that has been already created because that's copyright and the people will definitely come after you. Canva will definitely sue you, okay? So you have to modify it. Modify it to a point where it doesn't look like you copied from anyone, okay? Modify it to a point where Canva cannot sue you. And then once you do that, you could create a website where you sell it, or you could use System.io to sell it. So there are different ways of selling Canva website template. And because it's such a new thing, not a lot of people are doing it, I would say that is a great way for you to stand out. Now, the last one, niche subscription or bundle boxes. Now, this is pretty much taking all the digital products you've created, digital courses you've created, and compiling it under one house, under one page, under one site. Now, since this is digital products, they have to be digital, okay? So if you are looking at subscription boxes, it could be makeup tutorials. If you're looking at bundle boxes, you could create bundles on different things. If especially now, this is where you look at the broader spectrum of a niche. Instead of focusing on a subset, you focus on the broader niche. Like, for example, relationships. And you could have a bundle of, okay, relationships with your mom, relationships with your dad, how to maintain a relationship with your best friend, how to maintain a long distance relationship, and go on and on. And the good thing about subscription boxes or even bundle boxes is you could literally have courses, ebooks, templates under the same subscription and charge quite a bit for it. So you could charge maybe $47 per month just for them to access all this. But the thing with this is you're going to have to constantly update so that people don't get bored. Or let's say you've got 10 different digital products. Every month you post something new so that people have a reason to pay that kind of money for a subscription. If you are pressed with time, you could always go to Fiverr and ask them to create something for you. And it doesn't have to be long stuff. It could be basically a checklist. It could be a small ebook. It could be maybe a mini course or mini email course. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.